December 11th, Sunday, 2022, and the world is always changing. When is the world ever not changing? Static states are nice, but they are encapsulated little fantasies to provide convenience in the sea of dynamicness. So, the only constant is change. And the way we feel it these days, amongst other things, is the rise of the machines. I used to say we should not call it artificial intelligence because intelligence is just intelligence. And I was thinking of artificial in the sense that, artificial flavor or coloring. Somehow it's not real flavor, not real coloring. But the prefix art in artificial is actually the same as the word art. And they have such different connotations, art and artificial, right? One sounds good and the other sounds bad. But all it is the prefix that indicates that it is made by human beings, right? Art is made by humans. Artificial are things that are made by humans. Artifacts are things that were made by humans. So it might actually be good to call them artificial intelligence. I might be doing a 180 from my old opinion, given that someday they're going to be so powerful and influential, you don't want to be caught having called them artificial. Well, labels aren't great, and, at some time in the possible future, there will be very little lines of demarcation between a being of human a derivative being, and an originally evolved creature. Both will be considered sentient. Both will be considered to have the rights due to a self-aware, sentient meta creature, which are, in fact, greater than the rights belonging to things that are not yet able to, say, grab themselves by their own bootstraps and, say, take control of their own evolutionary path, overriding, things from their evolutionary history that they're not exactly proud of, right? Someday we may all be vegetarians and look back and not believe that we ate, meat. So, things lead to things, and machine sentience, machine beings are beings that were originally of human creation, are going to be one of the kinds of things that are out there amongst us, and we're going to have quite a few wacky years between now and then. This is where I reiterate, read the Culture series. They are a wonderful series of books. There's a fixed number of them because the author died. I always get the author's name confused with the mathematician from Jurassic Park, Ian Malcolm, but it's not that. It's Ian Malcolm. Yeah. See, that's why I get it confused. That got fixed in my mind. Banks. It's Banks. Ian M. Banks. And when it's just Ian Banks, he's writing like James Bond novels. But when it's Ian M. Banks, he's writing about a post-scarcity humanoid society that is a galactic power, and where it's not all this, naysaying doom and gloom dystopian future of almost every sci-fi, book out there, right? It is a bright vision of the future where humanoids manage to band together and create a culture that is not, a plague upon the galaxy, right? One of the worst trends these days is how many people think humanity is a plague, and how Earth or life or existence would be better off without humans. How self-hating is that? so many people put down Elon Musk, it's almost inevitable bringing him up, over his, he didn't invent the electric car, he bought Tesla using money from PayPal, where he barely even helped run the company, the list goes on. Yeah, but who's doing more to ensure humanity's future in a positive way? The naysayers would kick in right there saying, oh, it's just helping spread the virus of humanity onto other planets, infecting Mars. But I think that humans are on the whole good, net positive, or else we wouldn't be here. All the pessimists and nihilists that seem to be writing the current public discourse miss the argument that we're still here. That if we were really as rotten to the core as is made out in pop culture and the media, then we would have destroyed ourselves many times over long ago. Fact. We have had the opportunity to do it, and we're still here. So, it is an indisputable fact that the good in us prevails thus far. Every pessimist will say, so far, so far. Yeah, but that's the only evidence we really have. That's the only absolute truth we have. Like, is everything on a spectrum? Is everything shades of gray, life and death? Well, ultimately, yes. But in a practical day-to-day sense, no. You're alive or you're dead, right? There might be some blurry boundaries at either side, but on the whole, we all know what a living human being is versus, a preconception sperm and egg versus a decayed, a residue of your, chemical constituents in the ground, right? Sure, there's life almost in all matter, right? Life arises from the stuff of matter. Consequently, the potential for life is part of all that is, right? Very anthropomorphic position, but I feel defensible, even if it's an evolutionary process, even if we're one in, many, many, many trillion, 100 to the order, 100 to the power of 100. If we're one in that many possibilities, unlikely. Yet we are still here, and we can draw certain conclusions based on that. And one of them is that, on average, add everyone up and divide by the number of people, we're good. Humans have not destroyed the planet, no matter what anyone wants to say. We've radically changed it, and not everything is positive, and we have our work cut out for us, but technology seems to be advancing exponentially. And so long as that exponential, progress continues, there's no problem that we can't tackle. And there'll be, a human diaspora will spread out all over the solar system and eventually the galaxy. And so long as what we've seen about ourselves so far is true, having discovered a new, potentially everything-ending technologies, we will go so far as to test it once or twice. But then there is a constraint. Mutually assured destruction is a powerful motivator. It's almost like maybe we shouldn't get off the planet too soon, because the thinking that there can always be a second chance is suddenly there. And the, onus to not be first strike is removed. We can take our good time getting off the planet, so long as it's before the next major asteroid hit or whatever. But we can do it, and then we can deflect all the asteroids, on their way here. And every other filter event and test of humanity we can get through. We've gotten through more than atomics thus far. I'm sure we have gotten through, just not using the superbugs, right? There's no second chance with certain technologies. So, well, maybe there is if it's less than fatal, right? So maybe that's what we're going through now. Who knows? But nonetheless, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and we are getting stronger and stronger and stronger as a, I even hate to say species or animal or creature. What we are is we're, a life form template type, After the culture, you can listen to or read the X-Force series, although, it loses a certain charm without getting the acting performances on Audible. And I would also suggest Bobiverse. There is a lot of good stuff out there to feed the noggin and put it in perspective about what kind of creatures we are relative to the many that could be out there in existence. Anyway, I'll end there. It's good stuff. Lots of changes going on, and we're going to navigate it just fine, and I'm going to help along the way. I'm going to help narrate the navigation of the crazy times of the rise of AI. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe.